conclusion. Journey of Abid Patel, a certified PMP with all above target. Now, this is a special journey. Guys, here's a story from rag to riches. Here is a story of commitment, dedication, consistency. Keep moving forward without giving up. From all below target to all above target. So, Abid, you are a real success story. You are a motivation to thousands of people that it's not over until it's over. It's not done until I win the game. So there was a goal and he had the maximum bumps. Let me tell you, he cleared PMP on which attempt?
Third attempt.
Last and third attempt. And he got above target. I will show his results, but before that, Abid, congratulations from the entire PMP community and for becoming a
Thank you.
certified PMP. Let's hear, Mike is your, share your entire journey. Go ahead.
I think it kind of started. Basically, I relocated to Pakistan in October 2020, which was last year. While I was in transition to move from London, I was based in London since 2003. So I got graduated. I did my master's there. I was working on government and non-government projects there. I started my journey as a QA, and then I moved into project management.
Okay.
So I was in a situation where I was planning to relocate because I've got family here. I'm basically Hyderabad based, and this PMP was obviously I'm very active on LinkedIn or try to be, and I see a lot of people are getting certified. So I became curious, and I thought like, why not to start this journey? So then I got enrolled and I started studying, self-study, a lot of self-study. And one thing I would like to say that which I never experienced in the past, maybe during my matriculation or inter exams, but I think it's more like your support system, including your family and including those people who really have faith in you. So I think that was the main factor or building block or a foundation to begin with. So unless you don't have that support system, especially when you have family, like you are married or you have sisters, you have parents, so all those commitments you need to make sure that you are fulfilling alongside. So during this time when I was relocating, again it was a different challenge. Even though I'm from Pakistan, but again, 14 years when you live abroad, you're trying to relocate, you have those cultural understandings to go through, and change of lifestyle, how you used to live there, and how your electricity problems you have, for example, and things like that. So it was a bit of challenge, but I was kind of mentally ready. So it helped me quite a lot. And at the same time, give me one second, please. At the same time, when I embarked on this journey, I felt that I need to give it a whole commitment. One thing that I think that affected my first attempt was the pressure and the pressure of losing it. And as you can see from my exam report, I lost it from a very clear margin, from a very minor margin. Otherwise, I would have just gone
Let, let
past.
me let me show your exam reports if you allow me. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
fine. Please go ahead.
this is Abid's first exam report. Oh, this is his first exam report. And I guess we talked at that time. I said one question, if you have done right, you would have a certified PM.
Yes.
Guys, I have one student in 2020 whose line was just like this. It's more like you are playing cricket and you got no ball just to be on the line, or you got out because you were at that side of the line. So Abid was unable to clear because of this thing. He was one question, just one question, and he would have cleared. He gave exam on 31st of December, and exam was very hard. There is no doubt in that. Okay, Abid, please go ahead.
So, because as you know that there was a lot of hype being created, and I did factually faced it, that once the exam going to change, it will be a different pattern in terms of multiple choice, in terms of drag and drop, where you match the two different sides of the answers. and things like that, and agile that came extensively into it. So all these things were creating hype, a lot of hype, before the exam pattern was supposed to be changed. So again, I think I became, if I may correctly say, a victim of that as well in terms of pressure. And I studied so hard. And if I correctly remember, I was giving it 12 to 14 hours a day. That's how much I was studying. And I was trying to understand the concept. And as I mentioned, I had a very good support system. So those who have already done, including yourself, for example, I was watching a lot of your videos, and a lot of people I was getting in touch who have passed the exams, who have experience in the industry and things like that. So throughout that, I did practiced as much as I could. But one thing I would say is a lot of practice questions help you a lot, because those terminologies you need to understand to kill it. So if you don't understand those questions, you can't answer it. So I think the key thing is practice as much as you can. So I think that was my first attempt on 31st of December. And the moment I failed, the worst part is when you fail it, you know instantly you failed. Or you pass it, you know instantly you passed. So I was like, God, I have done it. It's not possible. Then during 20, I think 23rd of June, 21st of June was my birthday. So I discussed with my wife, shall I give myself this gift and try again? And she was quite supportive as well. I did not tell my parents the second time I attempted it, because first time I told them, and the whole family was very heartbroken, and like, they feel upset. But my dad was like, it's okay, you fail it, you learn something out of it, and you try again. So it's not an issue. So my only wife, she knew that I'm going for the second attempt. So I discussed with her and I said, today is 21st. I think just before 21st of June, I was like, my birthday is coming. Shall I try to give myself a gift of being PMP? She said, why not? Unfortunately, I could not get the dates. And the closest date I could get at that point was 23rd of June. But unfortunately, again, I failed that too. And
So
that
let me show
was like,
that result, and that result is also very like awesome. So he was here. He was on the lowest side. This is the lowest result I have seen ever. And the reason being, can you explain the reason why you got this result?
yeah, it was about, I did around, I think, 60, 70 questions, because new exam pattern is 180 questions. So I remember I had first break, 10 minutes break, and then I started again. I was struggling with my internet connection. And then unfortunately it did not support. And the problem was my phone was away from me and it was on silent as well. So I could not get to my phone, and I think it was in the other room as well. I left it in the other room because on the exam day I didn't want to keep the phone on me. And obviously my wife couldn't hear the ring as well, otherwise she would have answered. PMI called back that there's an internet connectivity, we can't see you on the camera. And I think I missed that call. And they, like, basically they terminated the exam, and I got, like, this was my result, and I was
So
so heartbroken again.
PMI did call you, like they did their
Yeah, I
part.
think it was
They
yeah,
did.
because obviously I did not have the phone on me, and I wanted to keep away from all the distractions, and I just left it on another room. But I think some people say they call you, and I thought like they will get in touch with you. But if the internet is not getting connected, the only form of communication they have left is basically phoning you. But because I was in exam, so I left my phone in another room. My wife, she could not hear it because I left it on silent because I don't want to have any disturbance, and I got into a mess.
Okay. Okay. Next. Now, how did you even think to do the third attempt? Now, after getting such
Yeah,
a devastation, how did you even think about like giving the third attempt?
no, because I think what I
Can I add
learned
somewhere?
through,
Can I add
yeah,
somewhere? Like I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk books placed somewhere else. So Steve Jobs says in his a famous speech, "I was devastated, I was down, but one thing was there, I was still in love." So that was the same thing. You are down, you fell down, but you are still in love with success. You still want to have that thing with your name.
yeah, because I think if something does not kill you, it will only make you stronger, right?
Somewhere, sure.
So I was like, the worst is, I mean, I registered, I think, in October, November, and it gives you 1 year validity in terms of your registration and all that. And I thought like uh, there is no harm, like let me try a third time, and if it is meant to happen, it is meant to happen. And um, I just wanted to share that the way I prepared for the last time, it's like, I think, I don't know, you might have come across and seen like Usain Bolt, the amount of hard work she put into for those, 100-meter race, for example, and those gold medals. There's a lot of push behind it. My preparation was my sitting room. It was completely of sticky notes, if you believe it or not. And I was setting up in my mind like there are 10 chapters. This curtain going to be chapter 1. This door going to be chapter 2, and all these points I need to remember through the sticky notes. And I have got no idea how I came up with that plan, but I was reading the sitting room. I remember throughout this process, it was not in use for the guests. And increasingly, I see the frustration and support from my family because they knew what I was going through. So I should tell you the third time I actually, when I attempted it. It was one of the office locations I rented, and it was a Saturday night. I have stayed there, and I stayed there overnight, and I think it was 9 o'clock Pakistan time or 9:45, something like that. It was the exam, and my parents were home. My wife was not there; she was at her parents. And on the way, when I passed it, on the way, my mom, she liked dates a lot, so I bought 250 grams of dates, and I came home and I told my mom that overnight I'm gonna have a meeting with US clients, and I just made up some story. So my parents were like, okay, make sure you reach safe and let us know. And when you leave from there after the meeting, let us know and all. So when I came back with dates and I said, Mom, because on Sunday it was Karachi, and I said, Mom, the sweet shops were not open, so I just got these dates for you. And she was like, how was the meeting? And I said, the meeting was not there, and I passed PMP. And I still remember the reaction of my parents because they both were at home, and they both were looking at me silently, and they were like, either this guy is joking or this guy is, not serious about anything. And I was like, no, Mom. And that's why I know you like dates. And it's like more of a celebration for us. So let's have some dates and celebrate it. And I think my wife knew that. I think that there was a 3 hour, 4 hour, 180 minutes or something. And she called me after I reached home, and she said like she was talking to me very silently, more like whispering, because my parents were we were having lunch at that time. And she was like, "What is exam result?" And I said, "I passed." And I remember she was like, "What?" I said, "I passed." And she's asking, "Are you serious?" And she was so loud that my parents could hear as well. So my mom was like, she knew, but she did not share. I said, yes, of course, because obviously one time I failed, and I know the entire family was very upset. So second time only she knew, and third time only she knew. So I didn't want to, but she was herself surprised. So that made me feel like, which means she was not. I mean, I'm not gonna say faith in me, but it
It
was a
was
journey. I
more, I
mean,
wouldn't say faith in you. I would say more, she considered PMP as such a difficult thing that
definitely,
it became like it was a third attempt, and she knows it's very hard. So I wouldn't say the word faith here. It would not be
yeah,
right thing to say, but more of a she considered it at a very high pedestal that this is a very
definitely,
difficult.
definitely.
Okay, so can you share your journey was really awesome, and I would say it is one of the most beautiful journey I have heard in long, long time. And we have many journeys. We have 137 PMP with us, so 137 journey of ours, and then people who approaches us like you. Okay, Abid, share us something about exam. You have more insight about the exam. So straightforward, which exam was difficult? 2020 or 2021?
I think they both have their own challenges. I found out, or the way I compare, if you allow me to, I think the 2020 pattern was very much of, I think it was very scenario based, but it was not much of agile touch. But
Hmm?
2021 of very much of having scenario based at the same time agile touch too. And I think the question answers, I have had some true and false, I remember.
How
And then I think
many?
there were some few, I
How many?
remember. I don't know exactly how many. but there were few. And then drag and drop, so where you have two different columns and you match the columns. And I think there was one formula question only. So, but the good thing is you get two breaks. But believe me, at the end of exam, I was having pains in my ribs, sitting just one place, and so it was a very painful exam. But yes.
Okay. Okay. So, which areas were more targeted? Agile, stakeholder communication, resource, right?
Yes, I think it was mainly agile overall, if I generalize it. So there was a lot of agile part in there, and communication was there as well. Couple of formula questions. The stakeholder was there as well. Yeah, but I don't know exact number of questions. But yeah, it was a good mix.
Good. It was a good mix. Okay. And no critical path question.
I think there were one or two, if I correctly remember. I could be wrong, but I think there were one or two questions.
Did you have to make a critical path there?
I think I was very fast because I was running out of time. You won't believe I. The thing is, because with this exam, even though you get two breaks, but I don't know why I was having rib pains, and I think when it comes to formula questions and critical part, I left them at the very end. So I attempted them in a very fast way. I'm not too sure if they were correct or wrong. I got them wrong,
Okay. Okay.
but I think
Okay.
they were two. Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Like,
show people your final result. We have seen two results. Now the final result is there. This is the guys, his final result. Overall above target. So from here to here to the journey of it. This is the journey of Mr. Abid Patel. Sir, thank you very much for giving your time. Now, what is your
yes,
final advice to the entire PMP? How they should prepare?
I think before this, I would like to say that I have already renewed my PDUs for until 2027.
Hmm.
So I'm certified until for the upcoming 6 years.
Hmm.
So I don't have to worry about renewing it. I've already renewed it. So I'm certified until 2027. I think my suggestion to those who are going to embark on this journey or who are on this journey, I think
Hmm.
first you need to make sure that you are mentally ready for it.
Hmm.
um, I think it's not the journey which you're going to embark on your own. I think it is a journey of your family, if you have family. I think it's a journey of your support system. So if you have those people who are there for you, who are going to support you, who are understanding you, and not letting you frustrate, not letting you, fall down, for example, I think this will help to begin with. And one thing I realize, the more you practice, the more your eyes become comfortable when you get those questions. So it won't be any surprises for you, which is more important than anything else. I can read the whole book. I have gone for Rita. I have gone head first. I have read Pimbok. But at the same time, I think when I was practicing, everything was looking absolutely new to me. I was saying, like, does it really mean this, or what does it actually mean? So even though you have gone through those books multiple times, cover to cover, but what you will understand by reading the questions, that's something different as compared to reading the books. So practice the questions as many as you can.
Okay, thank you. And which mocks you would recommend? Which mocks you did, and which mocks you would recommend?
I have done a lot of online ones. Prepcast I did buy for the 2020 attempt, but not for 2021, to be very honest. So I don't know how much Prepcast will help. But in general, I would say as many online. There are so many. I mean, once you Google them, you'll find so many online. I'm
No
not saying they
particular,
are
like
all.
in your opinion, no particular mocks, but doing mocks is helpful.
Yes, because I think your eyes need to be. It's more like, when you start cricket, for example, in the opener. I mean, once you have gone through 20 overs, your eyesight is set. So you need to set your eyesight on the questions, that as soon as you get the question, you can pick the word, you can pick the twist, and you can answer accordingly. So unless and until
Okay.
your eyesight is not set, I don't think it will.
Well,
It
I
will
really like
personally,
your
I think.
advice. You need to set your mindset, you need to set your eyesight. Thank you, Mr. Abid Patel, for giving your time. Now I need three things
Pleasure.
from you. I ask the same thing for all certified PM. The first thing, most important, each one teach one. each one teach one. Now you know the journey, you are helping a lot of people through this journey, showing them, motivating them how they can do. You did it, they
Yep.
can do. Secondly, I want you to make questions. You have done many questions, so why don't make your own questions? Even 20, 30, 50, or one more is good. You can put
Mhm.
it online, you can share us or anyone. The purpose is to make question. I am motivating
Mhm.
every individual, and for you, it is especially important. Why? You have studied PMBOK, RETA, Agile, given two exams, seen three exams, actually given three exams, seen three exams, not exam question, exam like question. Since you can, I
Yep.
know you cannot remember, but we are not even allowed to share. So exam like questions, I would request you make. And now, third thing and very important, enjoy it. You did a very, very hard journey. You earned it. Enjoy it. With that, thank you, Mr. Abid Patel. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.
Can I just request you one thing? You haven't
Yes.
shown my certificate.
Huh. You want me to show a certificate? Actually, I didn't
Yes.
download it because I downloaded the most important thing. Right.
No, because it
Let
is renewed until 2027. So I think what one of my friends, what he did as a mistake was he did not renew it, and I think he's going through
2021,
the whole. Yes,
2027. So
yes.
you have
So
basically you have 3 years to maintain 30 hours, then 1 years to get it back. And if 4 years you don't do that, then your certificate is gone. Then you have
yeah,
to from
so
zero.
the consistency is there. You have to be consistent.
Consistency
Thank you
is
very much
there.
for your time.